Joining us now in the studio, Jalas, the man himself. When we're talking plastics. Today is the day that all plastic bags are banned in Kenya. Andrew Amadi joins us in the studio here to talk about what this is all about, whether this thing will work at all. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Those of you who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a chemical engineer and also a certified energy manager. And my commitment and dedication is towards sustainability in terms of access to energy, security, and reliability.
Oh, that is too much for me to understand. What I want to understand
It's plastic.
Is plastic
Yes.
for now. Was this? I know you'd want to try and justify that hii kesi ilianza kitambo na hii mambo ati wa Kenya wanasema it has been rushed, it has been moved very fast.
Yes.
It is not
been fast-tracked.
It's been fast-tracked. It cannot work. How long has this been this discussion been going on?
The discussion has actually been going on for quite a number of years. I think if we remember as far back as maybe 2008, 2009 was the first time that there was a proposal to ban the use of plastic bags in Kenya. And it resulted in an excise duty being imposed on all plastic products. So the conversation, the discussion has been going on for, I would say, at least more than 10 years.
More than 10 years.
More than 10 years.
So this day, August 28, 2017, and the effect on the ban, will it work, Andrew?
I think the question is not whether it will work or not, but how it will work. Because it's a matter of fact that it has come into effect. So that's a reality that we have to start to live with. Now, how it will be implemented, of course, will be quite a process. It will not be instantly a solution to the plastics problem, that's for sure. Because even the plastics that's been there for the last 20 years is still going to be there in the environment.
Right.
So how the response will be, a lot of it will depend on, number one, the coordination of the activities that are required to find a solution. First of all, I would like to say that you really do actually welcome this ban, because it starts a very important conversation about what we need to do, not just about plastic, but about solid waste management in general. And it automatically triggers.
On this number?
Yes, the number is here.
Ala?
Kabisa.
Tujaribu?
Why not?
Live.
Yes. Weka simu.
Haya, weka simu.
Wacha tuone.
Weka.
Iko.
Finya.
Wacha niweke line. Si ndio hiyo?
Hiyo. Endelea. 0737.
Ngoja uwezi soma yote mara moja, watu wataanza kumpigia pia.
Oh, okay.
Wacha tuone.
Of actions and events that can now ultimately lead to what we all desire. I don't think anybody wants to have plastic in our environment. It's
That's
a
very
problem, and all the negative effects are very well known to us. However, it's also a convenience that we have. I would say globally, not just here, we've become addicted to plastic.
Yeah.
We almost cannot do without it. So we have to be able to learn how to manage it and how to be able to make it work for us without it harming us, and more important, without it harming the future.
Wow. A quick one, Bwana engineer. Is a certified engineer.
Chemical.
A chemical engineer. When you say plastic, and in this ban, what are the ones that have been banned? What categories? Because plastics are so much. Kuna mtu alikuwa anasema sasa jamani, hii soda yetu tutakuwa tunabeba wapi? Mimi mama wa Getheri nitakuwa nawekea watu Getheri wapi? Sisi watu wa supermarket and every. Which ones are the first in the first category of what has been banned, and that from today, if you're seen with it, you're contradicting the law?
No, sisahau flying toilets.
Flying toilets pia. Nini we, si ukai kitusuru na maji yenyu. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. The categories banned are two categories. That is the plastic carrier bags and the flat bags. The carrier bags is a bag that has handles, and the flat bags is just the plastic bag that can be used as secondary packaging. So what is not banned is the plastic material that is used for primary packaging.
So bottles,
So bottles are not included in the plastic.
Jars.
That is primary packaging.
Jars.
Yeah. And it only covers polythene bags, to be specific.
So kama hizi za supermarket zimetolewa.
Hizo zimetolewa.
zote.
Zote.
Wow. Na hii flat ni gani? Hiyo flat hapa umenipoteza pia.
Hizo ni kama zile zinazotumiwa ukinunua kwa market. And you just get the bag that doesn't have the handles. That's the only
Hii ya Githeri, hii kama ile
kama
Githeri.
hiyo ya Githeri.
Plastic toilet.
Ni nini, Jeff?
No, it's important.
Okay, so flat
to me-
doesn't have handles.
Right.
And carrier ni
bags.
ya supermarket.
Yes.
So flat ni kama hizi za kuwekewa Githeri, ya kufungiwa mboga,
Yes.
ya kukatiwa nyanya ndani, hizi zenye watu. Okay, basi sasa nimegundua. Watu wamekuja kutumalisha. Sisi kama watu wa chini. Do you use plastics at home, you carriers?
Well, when I go shopping, of course I have to use. See, that's how they pack the.
Do
shopping.
you use the flat one?
All the time? Yeah.
Where?
When I'm wrapping stuff, to put in the fridge, those are.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Sandwich bags. I mean, what about those?
Oh, sandwich. Yeah, yes,
There's been a lot of opposition from manufacturers, Andrew. Lots of opposition.
Yes.
Is this going to work? Because obviously Kenyans want this to work because plastics have been a disaster. But there's going to be a lot of resistance as well.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
Is actually a lot on the side of the impact it will have both on the industry in terms of the job losses, the economic repercussions of the ban, but also on the issue of waste management in general. That is where the failing is. So our problem is more of a littering and a dumping problem rather than as a problem of the material plastic itself. And therein comes the opportunity, and where people like myself and others who are involved in the recycling of plastic comes in. That's a secondary industry that the parameters have not been entirely favorable without the ban. And paradoxically, the ban makes it actually more attractive now to enter into the recycling of plastics, because the next logical step is, where will the plastic go? There are many people who have been hoarding plastic who, for whatever reasons, choose not to throw their plastic into the environment. So now that has become contraband. What are they going to do with that plastic? There's a dead stock from all the shops. I can almost categorically say every shop, kiosk, supermarket, petrol station, everybody that is selling retail is holding some plastic. What's going to happen to all this plastic? If we throw this plastic into the environment, we have the exact opposite effect of what we're trying to achieve. We're getting more plastic into the environment. If we do the other thing that people are considering, I talked to a supermarket yesterday and they said they're going to ban it. That is even worse, because the environmental impact of banning plastic is you're going to produce hazardous chemicals. You're going to leave a trail of organic substances that will seep into the ground that will be difficult to take out of the environment. So what we are urging people is, let's come up with systems that will work. Like you said earlier, what's going to work? What's going to work is get the county governments involved, secure this plastic. The moment you start to secure this plastic and then send out a signal to the recyclers that we will make this plastic available to you. As a recycler myself, what I'd say is very simple. 6 shillings a kilo, no questions asked. We'll buy all the plastic and we'll recycle it, and technologically and with the right amount of investment, we can clear all this waste plastic backlog in 5 to 7 years.
Recycle it into what?
Into fuel.
Hey, fuel to be used in?
For diesel generators, SGR train, public transport. We can recycle the plastic. Now, let me bore you a little bit. I know we don't like to talk about chemistry.
Yes.
Please, give me some chemistry, maybe him.
Yeah.
Tell us, what did you get in chemistry?
A strong D+, but it was still strong. Underline strong.
Yes. You're almost C-.
Give me some
Go on,
chemistry.
go on, Andrew.
Yeah. So the technical name for plastic is they're actually polymers. So we have ethylene or polyethylene. The process of producing it is polymerization. Now, the reverse of that process, we all know that, well, plastic comes from crude oil. We get it from oil, from petroleum products, which are hydrocarbons. So when you subject that to the polymerization process, which is basically through a catalyst to produce the polymers, which are the plastics. Now, the reverse of that, if I can call it so, is called pyrolysis. So you can be able to reverse that process with the polymers and get it back into the hydrocarbons, which is now your petroleum products.
It's just the reverse.
It's a reverse.
The reverse of
Of polymerization is pyrolysis.
Back to hydro.
Hydrocarbons.
Hydrocarbon, which is again crude oil.
Yeah.
Which you can still make diesel.
Yes.
Jeff, I told you, let us go to school. You refuse. You refuse.
Ile D+.
You see, angalia pali watu wako. Sisi tunapiga kelele hapa.
Ati.
People are discussing on how to
reverse plastic.
reverse plastic into
Back to fuel.
To fuel. Sisi ni kufinya vitu hapa na kuongea. Mungu shuka jamani. So all said and done.
Yes.
All said and done. This ban has come at the right time, is it?
I would say so. I think it has come at the right time. It's going to cause a lot of inconvenience and a lot of discomfort. But out of discomfort and inconvenience, I think we're able to achieve something great. And even for the manufacturers, it is not an end of the opportunity. If we did this, if we got committed, if we invested, and it's not as much as we're imagining, if we invested into this process and got this plastic out of the environment and said we're even going to, for the one that is hidden under the soil, we will now mine it out of the environment, and we were clear and there was no plastic, then we would have a system that would be able to accommodate and cater for the comfort or the convenience that the material brings, and those industries that have been set up can, because this ban, as much as, yes, we do have to do something about it, but if we can demonstrate, if we can take it out and show that we can manage this product effectively, then we will be able to say reasonably that, yes, we might consider that this is something that we've already handled, that we can be able to do.
One engineer.
Yes.
But are we ready? Do we have the recycling plant ready? Do we? Where are we going to take? If we say that now the ban is here,
Yes.
okay, what do we do with our plastic? Where do we drop them? Is there a recycling plant? Are we ready for this?
There are already a number of recycling plants or plants that are recycling plastic, both into fuel and others into materials. But the capacity is not enough. It will require investment. And this is where the part of preparedness argument comes in, that whatever options we're looking at within the 6 months from February when the ban was announced until this moment, the most that people can be able to do is to identify external sources of alternatives, because there are two issues here. There's the alternatives to the primary packaging, and there are many alternatives. I think it's been discussed and exhausted. There's paper, there's harder material that can be reused over and over, there's cloth. There are many options to that part of it. But if we were to look at setting up our own industries, for example, to revive the paper industry, to set up a plant takes 2 years. Plants they're not sold off the shelf. You have to make an order, wait for it to be made, have it shipped, installed. It takes 2 years. So the whole process of migrating will take time. So it's not something that, because the ban has been put into effect, that even the recycling plants will just drop in. Once the ban has been put into effect, once people identify, and this is where I will appeal to particularly the county governments, dedicate places where you can be able to just store the plastic. It's not going to go anywhere for 200 years. People like myself, other people who are looking for opportunities to invest, can invest in the recycling. Once they see, the biggest challenge that some of the investors in this area have is they ask the question, can you be able to secure the plastic that you require for these plants to run? Are we going to put our money and there's no plastic? And the answer is absolutely yes. So if people can be able to submit or present their plastic to the county governments, if county governments can allocate places where people can be able to deliver the plastic that they are holding, whether they are commercial, retail or domestic users, if they can be assured that when you are delivering your plastic to be recycled, you are not going to be prosecuted, then we have a good chance to be able to set up the industries that we require. That will not take long. It might take maybe 6 months to a year to have the recycling capability that will completely solve this problem. And my commitment, my challenge is that let's not do this piecemeal. Let's do a comprehensive solution. Let's go for the whole thing. Let's get rid of all the plastic in the environment and create a sustainable use of the materials that we have.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Benji Ndolo, he said, by the way, Amadi went to St. Mary's. No,
Why you at St. Mary's?
Guilty as charged.
Ni Benji Ndolo amesema si mimi.
Okay. But what happened to you?
Well, you know, I was left punching buttons. Alafu Zablon amesema, Jalas, turudi shule, I teach you some polymerization and esterification.
We'll take a quick break.
Indeed, plenty more ahead. This is a fascinating conversation.
I'm telling you, very, very nice. Very, very nice.
Yes.
Very, very deep. And more so when somebody you actually know
what he's talking about. Unlike you.
No.
The Hot Breakfast with Jeff and Jalango.